Hello and welcome to My Life on a GLP-1. This is the podcast where we discuss the weird and wonderful lived experiences while taking medications like Mounjaro, Zepbound, or Wegovy. I'm your host, Scott Johnson.
And I'm Sarah. It's great to be with you all again. I'm excited to dive into our topic today.
So Sarah, today I want to talk about something I've been thinking about a lot. It's one of those unexpected side effects of this journey, but it's a positive one, and it's something nobody seems to be talking about.
Okay, I'm intrigued. We cover the nausea, the food noise, all the usual suspects. What have you got?
Posture. I'm calling it GLP-1 posture.
Posture? Like stand up straight kind of posture?
Exactly. But it's not about trying to stand up straight. It's about your body just doing it naturally. I saw a photo of myself from a work event a couple years ago before I started this journey, and my shoulders were so rounded forward, my chin was down. I looked, for lack of a better word, apologetic.
Apologetic. Wow, that's a powerful word. Like you were trying to take up less space.
I think I was. Then I saw a recent photo from a similar event, same photographer even. And the first thing I noticed wasn't the weight loss. It was my shoulders. They were just back, naturally, not forced. It was a genuine structural change.
That's fascinating. Because you search for side effects, you find everything under the sun, but nobody lists improved posture.
Right. And it's such a huge deal. It affects how you look, how you feel, how you breathe, chronic pain, everything. I think part of why no one talks about it is because it happens so gradually. You don't just wake up one day with perfect posture. It creeps up on you.
And you probably chalk it up to other things, right? Like, oh, I feel more confident, or I've been going to the gym.
Precisely. But there's real mechanics at play here. The biggest one is just physics. Your center of gravity shifts. When you carry more weight, especially in your midsection, it pulls your whole body forward and down. Your shoulders round, your pelvis tilts, your body is just compensating.
It's an adaptation. That makes total sense.
And as that weight comes off, the load that was pulling you forward is gone. Your body doesn't need to compensate anymore. Over months, it starts to find a new, more natural equilibrium.
Equilibrium is such a great word. You mentioned the pelvis tilting. Is that related to lower back pain? Because so many people struggle with that.
100%. It's called anterior pelvic tilt, where excess abdominal weight pulls the pelvis forward, causing that big arch in the lower back. The muscles get tight in the front and weak in the back. For years, I thought my chronic backache was just how my back was.
Yeah, I did too. I just learned to accept it as normal. A part of getting old, I suppose.
Totally. And I had this light bulb moment about 8 months into my journey. I realized I had stopped reaching for a cushion to put behind my back at my desk. I often put a cushion under my butt because I have less padding there now. But seriously, the discomfort in my back and hips that was my constant companion for years had just faded away. I blamed the new office chair, but it wasn't the chair. It was the lack of mechanical strain on my spine.
That's incredible. It's not just about what you see in the mirror, it's about these fundamental quality of life improvements.
And it gets better. Your core strength actually improves, even if you're not doing 1,000 crunches a day, which I will never do. The medication obviously doesn't build muscle, but by reducing the physical mass, it gives your core muscles the space and mechanical advantage to work properly again. Plus, I found I'm moving more in general, which naturally strengthens your core over time.
Okay. The one that really blows my mind, though, is the breathing. How does that connect?
This one surprised me the most. When you have significant abdominal weight, it literally pushes up on your diaphragm, restricting its movement. You end up breathing more shallowly, using the smaller muscles in your neck and chest.
And that causes that forward head position and neck tension. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. So as that abdominal pressure reduces, your diaphragm finally has room to do its job. Your breathing deepens, and those overworked neck muscles can finally relax. That relief so many of us feel in our neck and shoulders, it's not just better sleep, it's better breathing mechanics.
It's also interconnected, and that reduced neck tension probably explains why I have fewer headaches too. But Scott, going back to what you said at the beginning, that word, apologetic, there has to be a psychological piece to this puzzle too. It can't all be physics.
You're so right. And this is the part that really stays with me. For so many of us who have struggled with weight, we develop this posture of making ourselves smaller, of physically trying not to be an imposition. The rounded shoulders aren't just a response to weight, they're a learned posture of self-reduction. You know how when someone parks too close to you and you have to do that samba-like shimmy to open your car door? That is a dramatic description of the poor posture you use to navigate life with.
A physical expression of not feeling like you're entitled to occupy space. That hits hard. It's a blow to my self-confidence.
It hits really hard, right? And as the weight comes off, that belief that you need to apologize for your presence just softens. You start standing in a way that matches how you feel. And from the outside, it looks like a person who has simply stopped apologizing for taking up space.
And that is a massive, massive change. For anyone listening who feels like their aches and pains are just part of life, this is such a hopeful message. Your skeleton is finally getting to hold itself the way it was designed.
It really is. And while a lot of this happens automatically, you can definitely help it along. Simple things like resistance training for your back and glutes, some deliberate belly breathing exercises, and just checking your desk setup can make a huge difference.
Support the change that's already happening. I love that. This sure has been an eye-opening conversation, Scott. It's a reminder that this journey is about so much more than a number on the scale. I love these surprising effects we keep uncovering. And to our listeners, if you were surprised by today's topic, make sure you smash that 5-star rating and be sure to follow the show wherever you stream. Oh, before I forget, please be sure to tune in to our next episode because you have something very special planned, right?
Thanks, Sarah. Yes! Our next episode is a big milestone and is a celebration. It's not just a celebration for us, but for all of you. Be sure you tune in.
I'm really looking forward to it. So tell us, Scott, what final thoughts do you have to share on this apologetic posture improvement?
I still have those work before and after photos. My posture in that before photograph is not the posture of a person who was unhealthy. It is the posture of a person who has been carrying a significant load for a long time and has adapted so completely to it that they no longer remember what it felt like not to. But what the after picture shows me is something more specific than weight loss. It shows a spine that has been allowed to find its own neutral, shoulders that have been given permission to go back, a person who stopped leaning forward and just stood. That is not a small change. For most people on a GLP-1 journey, it does not even make the list of things they notice or talk about, but it should. So on behalf of Sarah, I'm Scott Johnson, reminding you to join our next episode for a celebration. Stand tall and proud of your accomplishments. Thanks for listening, and always remember to love your journey.